Hey, what's up guys? In today's video, we're going to be going over these viral Battlefield 6 clips that everybody on the internet is freaking out over. Asmongold made a video, Tectone replied to it. It had a quote retweet that hit 150,000 likes. People are just screaming over the hills and the mountains saying this is cheating, cheating, cheating. And of course, people want to know my opinion. I've been asked countless times already what I think about this because I'm a Battlefield YouTuber, and particularly a sweaty Battlefield YouTuber. So in today's video, we're going to be going over all of these clips. And because I actually know the person in this video, I have the raw files. So we're not going to be going off of Twitter quality. I have the raw files. I asked this person, Riley, questions directly to explain some of the situations in these clips, and I'm going to be giving my thoughts on the clips themselves. Now, there are a lot of clarifications that have to be made before we get into this. Some people are going to be quick to point out that Riley is in the same content group or AIM community or whatever you want to call it that I'm in. You can see in the bio here, this is Team EXE. I am a part of This is Team EXE. Some people are going to be quick to say, well, Enders, don't you have an incentive to defend Riley, right? Don't you want to defend your teammate? No, I have absolutely zero incentive to defend them. And actually, I would argue the opposite. I have incentive to get to the bottom of whether or not they're cheating. So if they are cheating and leadership somehow refuses to remove them, I can remove myself from the situation. So I have absolutely zero interest in being biased towards Riley. We really don't interact. For the purpose of this video, I contacted them to actually get the raw files like I mentioned previously. So we're going to be dealing with raw footage just to show, you know, the more high quality situation of what's going on. But I just wanted to make that very crystal clear. This is not going to be some sort of like biased Team EXE inside job video where I just defend everything Riley is doing. We're going to take an objective look at it, and I'm going to explain why these clips, in my opinion, are just simply not cheated. So first of all, what you need to understand when you watch one of these AIM montages that Riley posts is that this is their entire prerogative, right? They are playing for clip farming purposes. That is their play style. And they have done this in a multitude of different games. You can see the pin tweet is Modern Warfare 3. Then we have the Battlefield 6 hand cam clips. Then we have the clip that went viral also in Battlefield 6. And just a couple more scrolls, you can see we have, this is Modern Warfare 3. This is Battlefield 5. This is Battlefield 2042. And actually, I have personal experience playing against Riley in Battlefield 2042. And I can absolutely guarantee you, their playstyle is purely catered to getting clips. They are not careful at all. They likely spend, you know, for every 2-minute video they put up, they probably play the game for 10, 20 hours or something like that. So that's something people really need to understand. This is a clip farm play style. There are certain elements of gameplay that are going to be relevant to that clip farm play style, like off-screen flicking randomly, 180ing randomly in the name of trying to get a clip. Some people look at that and just say immediately, oh my god, like macro or wall hacks or cheatings or whatever. No. And we're going to be getting into that very, very soon. But again, you know, CS2, the more I scroll, the more different games you find. Black Ops 6, again. So, like, am I meant to believe that this person is just cheating in every single one of these games, and it took Battlefield 6's beta for them to get caught? I highly doubt it. Now, before I go over the clips individually, we're going to watch this one time, just in its entirety, no stops. I have to mute it because there's copyrighted music and all that stuff, but we're just going to let it play, and I'm going to talk about some very important things to keep in mind, about the reaction this has garnered on the internet. So obviously with Battlefield 6, it's the first Battlefield game in a long, long time that appears to be worth a shit. So as a result of that, you're going to be having people that maybe have ignored gaming for a number of years come and get their eyes on anything Battlefield 6 content related. Now, with the way Battlefield is, it's a large-scale game. It has fairly beamy gunplay, as you just saw in that clip right there. It's going to attract certain players like Riley that want to clip farm and hit cool moments and then post them on the internet, probably baiting reactions as well. But you know, that just comes with the play style, I suppose. So it's a kind of a perfect storm of things that all culminated into the reaction over this clip, which in my opinion, I've been around Battlefield content right now for probably over 7 years. I can't name a single other situation that I have personally seen, including situations that I've been involved in, that have garnered as much vitriol and hatred as this particular set of clips that Riley posted just a couple days ago on Battlefield 6. Not to mention the fact that this playstyle really just isn't that common. It's not very commonly seen. It doesn't happen on console. You have a bunch of console players looking over here, and they're watching this M&K guy that's a cat girl flick around everywhere. And to the average person, this probably does just look like aimbot, and they don't think too much about it. They look at it, they look at a flick, and they go, well, this guy's clearly cheating. Why would I even think about it? And I really feel like that is happening a ton with these clips. People aren't trying to deep dive. People aren't trying to look at anything in a rational light. They're just immediately assuming this is cheats. All right, now that we've watched it individually uninterrupted, we're going to be going over some of the specific clips in this video, mostly the ones that set off the most alarm bells for people, right? I think it's being referred to as the rock clip. That's the second clip in the video. We'll be going over that. I did ask Riley to provide me with specific explanations about certain clips, which I will provide to you as well. And there's also some interesting information that Riley provided me about some of limitations and why they play the way they do. So we will be going over all of this. This is the very first clip in the video. Again, I have it muted for, you know, copyrighted music, all that stuff. Sorry, YouTube, you suck. Just double kill here, right? Nothing really crazy. There's a little micro track there, but guy honestly barely moved. You know, this is just a fairly standard double kill, nothing too insane. This sequence right here is where I feel as though alarm bells for the average person may have sounded off, because this is the first target switch sequence. Again, the entire reason Riley plays FPS games, the entire, basically the entire point of their play style in all of these FPS games is to hit target switch moments such as this one. So let's break this down as best as I can. So they run in this room here. They see Riley sees these people in this corner right here. This is very important for upcoming sequences. But as you might have noticed yourself, there is an individual in the left corner. We see the shotgun, we see the hand, we see it all very clearly, but we also see these people here. So Riley, knowing that this guy's in the corner with the shotgun, kills this player first and then attempts to flick over. As you can see, Riley completely, badly missed. Badly missed. So let's watch that again in real time, and I'll stop it when Riley misses. So kills this guy in the corner, badly misses. And then there is a readjustment. So boom, boom, and then Riley realizes that, you know, she fucking missed. Readjust to this player right here. Now, pay attention to what I told you previously. Riley's entire playstyle is hitting target switch clips. They have played countless Kovacs aim training scenarios, countless, probably tens of thousands of hours in FPS games, and they do have a natural talent for aiming. So this very simple aim adjustment after this miss is nothing too big of a deal. The player is standing still in a corner. This is almost a can't miss scenario after the initial very wide angle flick that was a low percentage chance to hit in the first place, because again, it was sort of outside of FOV. So we see this aim adjustment here, boom, right on the player. Player dies, and then there is another flick to the third player here rather. And you might notice there is an over adjustment. So boom right here, and then over adjustment again. So Riley over adjusts for the first flick, misses, readjusted, kills the second player, flicks to the third player, over adjusts, misses, and then there is another adjustment on to the third player, and then there is an adjustment onto, again, I'd say another can't miss scenario, a guy that is trapped in the corner. Let's watch this clip in real time, and I'll try to point out best I can everything that is happening here. So jumps in, left guy, miss readjustment, and then a easy kill in the corner. That clip, in my opinion, based off of my personal experience playing FPS games for tens of thousands of hours, that is absolutely 100% legitimate. Everything there checks out, in my opinion. There is just nothing suspicious about that clip. The speed isn't suspicious. There's just nothing suspicious. I don't know what to tell you. Now, onto the rock clip, which is by far, the biggest, most hated clip in the entire video. So this is the infamous rock clip, as Twitter is dubbing it, and there is a lot more than meets the eye here when it comes to this clip. There's a lot of prior knowledge. There's a lot of clip farming techniques, I suppose you could say, in this clip, and Riley provided me explanation in their own words about this clip, which I will be going over after I break it down and explain it. So Riley's pushing towards the C flag here. This is very important because Riley has prior knowledge that the C flag is to her left, which means that at any moment, theoretically, if there's a fight going on and they want to try to hit a clip, they could always flick towards an enemy flag because there might just be an enemy over there. Hey, Anders from the future, interjecting here just for a second. Just wanted to provide you with what Riley's explanation was for this rock clip here. Riley said, the rock clip was a gamble off-screen flick. I knew the objective was over there and I saw a radar ping in my peripheral vision, so tried to land facing it. My aim looks weird after the flick because I used way too much force for the motion. My super big off-screen flicks are really inconsistent because I'm not used to using my arm much. There is funny lore about the arm thing. My desk did not have room for both a monitor stand and my mouse pad, so I had to start using my mouse at a horrible position by default, causing me to almost never use my arm. I have a lot of hand cam videos of me on Kovacs complaining about it. I have since fixed it by getting a monitor arm for my second monitor, but this was super recent, so I'm still adjusting. And then Riley provided me with some clips showing the Kovacs hand position on the mouse pad sort of thing. As you can see, the arm position is way too high up on the mouse pad, and this causes there to be very little room for Riley to actually play with at the top of the mouse pad, which means Riley has to end up actually picking up the mouse off the mouse pad a lot, and for those of you that don't know, sometimes picking up your mouse off a mouse pad and then setting it back down has these crazy fast flick things that happen, and some people use them a lot in their gameplay, believe it or not. Yes, this is all weird, cringe aim knowledge, but I'm just trying to tell you what I know about it. Sounds ridiculous. People do it all the time. I hate to break it to you guys. People do it all the time. I've done it. I've even done more blatant looking things where I kill a random guy and I just flick over to a random smoke and I actually do kill someone through the smoke, which looks even worse than this. So Riley is running towards the C flag, prior knowledge of the C flag existing in the first place. Then we see this, okay, boom. There's a person right here, C flag to the left, clip farming play style. What's going to happen? Riley, of course, flicks to the left into the wall towards the C flag. Now, as you can see, there are a lot of people on the flag. So let's watch this again. Runs towards the C flag, kills this guy, flicks into the wall, and there's actually a guy right there. I'll zoom in the video. There's a guy tucked in the corner right there. You can just barely see him. There's a guy right here spotted with his symbol over his head that Riley kills. And then there's another guy that is kind of has his back turned towards Riley at the beginning of the clip. And as you can see, after Riley kills the first guy, Riley actually didn't even see that player because Riley started running. Why would you stop shooting and start running if you saw that player beforehand or knew that player was there? You wouldn't. You would just simply keep fucking shooting and killing them. Now, about this flick placement in particular, gonna have to boot up the good old MS Paint for this. All right, screw MS Paint. We're doing it in this editing software that I can go frame by frame by. Now, Riley has prior knowledge of this person being on the flag, and they're spotted on the minimap, and let's just see how this plays out. And I'm gonna try to point this out in the most coherent way possible. There's honestly like almost too much to go over here. I'm just gonna try to point out things that really matter. So, Riley kills this person, and then we'll go frame by frame from here out. You can see a frame counter, right, in the bottom middle. I'll blow it up for you guys in post if you can't see it. We're in frame 587 right now. Riley kills this guy, and the flick from this guy to Riley's left starts at about frame 592. So as you can see, 592 to 593 is where we see the first turn to the left. Now it goes from 593 to 4 to 5 to 6 to 7 to 8. And then to 9. 8 is where the flick is at its most, its leftmost point, or what people were calling it, like when it locked, right? When Riley locked onto the player, supposedly. And then the clip plays here, and I will go, play through the clip. Riley shoots, strafing to the right, peeking the flag, and then as we can see, there's nobody that Riley locked onto. There's just nobody there. And I will play this in slow motion again. Nobody in Riley's crosshair. There's a guy here. There's a guy to the left of Riley's crosshair. And then as you can see, that guy moves. And there is another guy behind the initial person. Now, bear with me here. There's a lot to unpack. Let's go back and take a look at frame 598, where Riley locks on to somebody. And we need to understand some very important things about the minimap and where Riley's truly looking, and then the placement of the people on the flag, and then who this person spotted in the minimap actually is. So, if I can just somehow zoom in here to the minimap, this will just have to do. You can see that frame 598, where Riley's crosshair is at its most quote-unquote locked point, you can see where Riley is looking via the minimap. There's this person in the corner here, and then there are two people we know are on the flag. So if you draw a line, a straight line here, Riley never locked on to anybody. How do we know Riley never locked on to anybody? Well, if you draw a straight line, you can see that Riley's line is just ever so slightly, maybe to the left of the C flag, maybe directly at the C flag. And if we zoom out here, we can see that it is actually definitively to the left of the C flag. Now, if we zoom back in here and we play this frame by frame, you can see that when Riley peeks the flag, just bear with me here. There's a guy here. You can see this guy, right? That's the guy spotted on the minimap. Very important, because I'm going to go back in the clip, right? And we're going to point out that this guy was actually always there, and it was the initial person that went on the C flag. But anyway, pushing through this clip here, frame by frame, no one in the crosshair, nobody to the left of the C flag. There's a guy here, there's a guy here, there's a guy here. Nobody to the left of the C flag on the initial lock. So again, we'll go back to frame 598, the leftmost point of the lock, where people are saying Riley locked onto somebody through the wall, and we'll go back to the minimap here. We'll go back to the minimap. Bear with me here. Back to the minimap. You will see that if you draw a straight line, and if you consider the crosshair placement on screen, there was never anyone to the left of the C flag at the moment Riley locked on. So this is an example of this playstyle that I mentioned previously. This is a clip farm playstyle. For every one of these moments that make it into a video, there are probably 50 that fail, okay? And again, I will just play this frame by frame, and I will zoom in best I can again. When Riley peeks the flag, there is absolutely nobody that she locked onto in her crosshair. There's this guy here who is on the minimap the entire time. There's this guy who gets spotted because I think Riley's recon teammates looked at this guy and auto-spotted him. And then there's the other dude. Oh my Jesus Christ. Then there's this other guy behind the spotted guy that appears. And I will just let the clip play, and I will zoom out a bit. As you can see, as this clip plays, there is nobody to the left of the C flag at all. So this clip is, again, nothing suspicious. It looks suspicious if you don't want to deep dive into the clip, but there is nothing suspicious here. And I will jump back in this clip real quick and just show you the minimap movement of this certain player. So I guess I'll just go in here and I'll do boom, and then I'll live editing right now. We'll do some live editing. We'll keep an eye on the minimap for this entire time, right? And as you can see, let's just make sure you can see it. Do you see this guy right here that's on the C flag? People were saying that the guy that was spotted, right, I guess wasn't the person that Riley killed. And they're correct. They are correct. But this is the person that made Riley flick to the C flag. And we will, again, I suppose, just go in here and then restore this. And I will point out to you that this person that was on the minimap is the person shooting right here. Do you see this? Do you see this muzzle flash? Right there. And as you can see on the minimap, once again, they're shooting. This is the same frame on the minimap. So there was some confusion saying, oh, this guy in the minimap at that particular moment might have been behind a wall, might have been a different person. No, it was always the same person that was on the minimap in the corner from the start of the clip. He just shot, stopped shooting, which took him off the minimap, and then shot again, which put him back on the minimap. Okay? I don't know if any of that made sense. I think it made sense. But the TLDR of this clip is that we'll just watch it in full time. We'll just watch it in real time. The TLDR of this clip is this is a side effect of a random clip farming moment where Riley tried to flick to a flag that Riley had prior knowledge of to try to hit a clip to put in a Twitter montage. That is literally all this clip is. The outrage regarding this clip is utterly ridiculous. And actually, Riley got the Twitch channel that they stream on mass reported and falsely banned. I want to emphasize falsely banned because of this clip, right? And here's the appeal. Here's the initial ban that Riley sent me. The appeal was denied, right? And Riley's Twitch account was, I think, suspended for 24 hours. As of recording this video, Riley is unbanned, so they will be back to streaming. Just want to make this very clear. Twitch did not ban Riley because Riley was, quote-unquote, proven to cheat. That is not what happened. Twitch suspended Riley's account due to mass reports from Reddit and likely Twitter as well. And this happened again to Riley in Delta Force, which of course Riley made a video for, similar to the one that they made in Battlefield 6. So, in my opinion, watching not only the clips that I went over in this video, but every single clip in this video, Riley is not cheating. They have demonstrated the same aim talent in every single game they have played. And I personally think the hatred and vitriol that has been spawned due to these clips is fucking disgusting and disgraceful. I really do. I've never seen anything like it. I mean, I'm talking about like 50 million views, 100 million views on some of the quote tweets. Obviously because of the way Riley streams with the cat VTuber and the way Riley talks and everything, they're naturally susceptible to online, hatred and bullying, whatever you want to say. But the fact of the matter is, in my opinion, the clips aren't fucking cheated. The clips are not fucking cheated. They're not. It's just a weird-ass playstyle that people aren't used to seeing in a game that has beamy gunplay and snappy fucking mechanics, or whatever you want to say. It looks crazy when someone with good aim is playing it. And I suppose you could say Riley made a video that baited people into thinking a certain thing because, of course, there are aimers, right? There are people that post these aim montages that specifically post them to bait cheat accusations. I don't think that's what Riley was doing here. The caption for the tweet was something like the most locked in cat girl you'll ever see in Battlefield 6. It wasn't something like inflammatory, like, oh my god, like my aim is the best ever or something like that. So again, these clips aren't cheated in my opinion. If I thought they were cheated, I would have called it out myself. I would have probably also made a video, the exact opposite style that I'm making right now, covering this. And if Team EXE didn't remove Riley, I would have removed myself from the team, because obviously I don't want to be associated with anything like that. So there's that. I hope this video made sense to anybody watching it. I know it was kind of awkward with the fucking Sony Vegas editing and all that shit that I was doing. That's the best way I could figure out on the fly how to do it. There it is. That's the best explanation I can present. I personally don't think Riley's cheating. Thank you for watching, and have a great night.